Can you tell people just a little bit about yourself?
Sure, I can. I've lived in Scripps Ranch for about 40 years. And when I got a divorce, I had a choice of selling the house or paying my ex husband off. So I often worked two jobs just to be able to pay the bills. But then when I retired when I was 70, I found it very difficult to pay the mortgage. I contacted someone that was referred to me by a friend, and he did my reverse mortgage, Joshua Gonzalez.
And then how long did you live in the home?
40 years.
And are you the only original owners?
Yes, my ex husband and I were.
Can you tell me a little bit about your career?
Well, I was a payroll manager, and my favorite place that I worked for most of my life was Sony, which is a great company, and I really enjoyed my job. I was a payroll manager.
That's cool. How many you worked for? I remember you working for some other really big companies too. Like you worked for Dyson,
I worked for Dyson, LPL. Gosh, for a while there, I was working a couple jobs. SAIC,
LabCorp.
LabCorp. Yeah, I worked there for quite some time.
You were there a while.
Yeah, because before it became LabCorp, it was National Health Labs.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and so it's called NHL,
Oh,
which became very
like the
interesting.
National Hockey League.
Exactly, exactly.
Okay, cool. So tell me just a little bit about like what the house means to you, because that's a long time. 40 years. It's a really long time.
It is. And when my ex-husband and I bought it, it was like a fairy tale. And one reason that we didn't worry about the high mortgage was because we didn't have any children. So we were there about 2 months and I got pregnant. And that's when I had Brittany.
She's a cool kid.
She is wonderful.
Okay, so when you went to get the reverse mortgage, when did you first start looking into it?
When I turned 70, because I couldn't afford the mortgage anymore, because I had only my Social Security and Medicare. So I thought it would be a good idea. I could keep the house and everything would be okay. I had no idea that they would be taking money out of my equity. They never said that. But every month they took $6,000 out, plus a big bonus that was paid to the guy who signed me up.
Why were you thinking about selling?
Because they told me that was a good idea.
Were you getting money from the reverse?
No, not at all. I never got any money from the reverse.
So the idea was now you have to sell the house so that you can have money.
Correct.
When you first signed the contract, was that what they told you would happen in the end? That you would end up having to sell your house if you did this?
No, they did not.
Did they ever mention any of the fees that they were going to take out?
Absolutely not.
And how long were you in contact with the lender? Because you closed the loan in 2022.
Correct.
And then your contact with the lender, did it continue?
Yes. Yeah, same person.
Okay. Was there anything about the process that was confusing to you?
One thing that I thought was a little bit unusual is when I decided that I was going to sell because I didn't have any money, the person that I got the mortgage from said, I know somebody that is a really good realtor. And I said, oh, good. So she came to my house and was making it ready for sale, just put it on the market. And that went on for 3 months, which of course they were now I know they were taking out money every month. I think it was $6,000. So I would run out of equity. And then I found out that the lady was the mother of the person who signed me up. So it was like, uh, I don't know, it was like a group plan to do stuff like this. And I was a victim.
Like they were like kind of working together and you didn't even have any idea.
No, I didn't.
Did you feel like when you had questions, people were there to answer them and they made sense?
No. This is all so horrifying to me. I don't want my family to not have something when I do pass away, but then I need money to live too.
Well, and that was the whole intent
Yes,
of the reverse mortgage in the first place,
correct.
was so you would never be in that situation. And then, well, I was living there with Steven. We
Mhm.
put a lot of time and money and landscaping and things into it, thinking the same thing. Because we wouldn't have put any money into that house if we would have known,
That they were going to take it away.
yeah, that's silly.
Yeah, it is.
That doesn't make any sense. So, if you could say anything to like someone else that might be thinking about like getting some type of equity product, financial product, or reverse mortgage, like what would you say to them?
I'd say, no, don't do this. They're taking your life.
How has this experience affected you personally?
It's devastating. It's caused problems with my friends and my family and my boyfriend.
And how did that impact like spread so wide?
What do you mean by that?
Like how did the impact spread to your family and to your friends and stuff?
Well, because my house was stolen. And they were upset, and my boyfriend talks about all the time, we have to get this resolved. They stole this from you, and you have to do something. So I have him constantly nagging me on the subject.
Well, and it's like it's so hard because we like love you so much, so we just want to fix it.
I know.
And what happened to you is just unbelievable.
And it makes me so sad.
It makes me sad.
I was a smart person.
You still are.
I always had good jobs. And then to have signed something that I shouldn't have, that I feel so stupid. Because then I lost everything.
But you're not stupid. You expected human decency because you are a decent human.
Yeah, I believe in people.
Yeah. Well, and the people that you were working with, from what you knew, had license, so they were licensed.
Right.
So that is always kind of a layer of like, oh, they're licensed, so they have it. Which, you know, my piece of the story when I did raise my concerns to the lender, I also thought that the ethics would back up what his choices would be. I thought that ethically he would also be concerned for you.
Yeah.
But that wasn't the case. That's not what happened.
No, it's not what happened.
So, how has it affected your sense of security?
I have no financial security. So I always feel funny saying that when I'm almost 74.
You can solve a boyfriend.
Yeah, he's helped me through all this, and he wants me to get it resolved because he knows how hard it is for me.
So, which questions do you think people should ask when they're going through like any type of equity, anything? What questions should they ask?
Is there any money that is taken out of your equity? And I've heard of other people who have a reverse mortgage and they get $6,000 a month. And if that would have been the case with me, things would have been a little bit easier.
Well, we wouldn't be sitting here today.
That's absolutely not.
Yeah, so the loan that you actually signed up for was a proprietary loan, which did you know that?
No, I did not.
Because that adds a whole layer of confusion. Do you even know what proprietary means?
No.
Because I had to look it up too. Stephen, actually, I mentioned it to Stephen and he was like, oh, so I'll look it up again, but I think it means that it's investors basically are funding your loan.
No, it's not a federal agency or.
Yeah, like the Federal Housing Commission.
No, it's a way to trap elders and get their homes, and they make a lot of money off them. It's cruel.
And how did they treat you, the people that did this to you?
Oh, they were so nice. It made me feel like they were taking care of me and everything was going to be okay. And what they were really doing is abusing me.
And then with me, your daughter, cause like I knew something was wrong I knew something was wrong in January of last year because of what happened. Things started to really unravel, and then in March I knew something was significantly wrong, but I still couldn't figure it out. And then it was in June that I actually was able to put some puzzle pieces together when I found the other victim. And then in July was when that whole thing happened with us being displaced. How what did they say, like how did they I've seen some of the emails and they're awful, not on your side but on their side.
Yeah.
How did they make you feel like in those moments when they were doing?
They were telling me I'm doing the right thing. I'm doing the right thing for everyone involved, including my daughter.
Yeah, well, they're pretty convincing.
Yeah, they are.
So why is it important for you to speak out now?
Because I don't want anyone else to be in the position I am today. And I've heard what I heard. I don't know. I can't prove it, but I've heard what happens to some people is that because they don't have any place to live, they're put in a nursing home, and they don't need to be there.
Yeah, because they don't have any home anymore. The home's gone.
Right? They're homeless, like I am.
Well, we're not giving up.
No, we're not.
So that brings me to my next question. What do you hope comes from? Obviously, I know what you hope comes from with your case, but what do you hope comes from sharing your story?
Oh, I'm hoping that it stops people from making the same mistake that I made, because it doesn't. And in fact, if you see the commercials and you see the people who say, "Oh, I don't have to worry about anything anymore," it looks so wonderful, but it's not.
I think financial freedom is the coined phrase that they use, was financial freedom.
Right.
And what keeps you going through all of this?
My daughter, who I love very much, and my little dog,
Teddy.
Yeah.
Is there anything else that you want to say or anything like that?
I'm happy to share my story to anyone because I honestly don't want them to ever be in a position like me.
Do you feel like the safeguards that are in place right now were enough to protect you from being in the position that you're in today?
No, there's nothing. There's no consequences to them.
Well, yeah, because I recently told you that they are still doing business,
Of
and
course.
they admitted to, fraud and misrepresentation just ironically July of 2025. Isn't that interesting?
That is interesting.
When I came to you initially with my concerns, and then before we were displaced, I sent you some stuff, and then did you question those people about any of the stuff, or were you?
No. I just trust people. I would never do anything like this. So I'd never think anything like this.
Yeah. Okay. Hello, I'm Brittany.
And I'm Penny Fuller.
And we're here to share a story that has almost completely destroyed our lives because we don't want it to happen to you.
Exactly.
And we're not going to give up because our story is important and it's affecting people right now. So it's definitely
I'm not the only one.
That's for sure. But it's definitely been really difficult for us this last, year and a half.
Yeah.
But we haven't given up, and we'll never give up because we know what is right. And my mom deserves everything in the world that's good. So she's always been so good to everyone else. So we're going to keep fighting.
Yes. And I do appreciate it because I would have never been able to handle this by myself. I'm sorry. Mom, it's okay.
It's not your fault. You have to remember that.
I know.
It's the bad people's fault.
I know.
The bad guys and gals.
Yes.
Bad people. Okay.
So turn it off.